Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll go for 2025, the first paper in IG is that non-calculator paper. First question, non-calculator, but do as usual. They ask you to draw the modulus graph. We draw the modulus graph as usual. We draw this x minus 1 graph first. So when draw straight line graph, we construct a table and find both intersect points. So when x equals to 0, y equals to minus 1. When y equals to 0, x equals to 1. So after we know this, then we sketch on the graph. The straight line is supposed like this, but after we draw the straight line graph, so when it's modulus, anything below the x-axis we remove, and everything will reflect up. We know that this position will from minus 1 reflect to 1. So after we draw modulus x minus 1, then we consider about the 4. The 4 means the y we times 4, so 1 will become 4. That's all. Then for 3x plus 2, again, straight line, y is 2, minus 2 over 3. Suppose it's the straight line like this, but we know this is the modulus graph, so everything below, we need to flip up. This is the final answers, and you get 3 marks. Next question asks you to solve the inequalities that this 4x minus 1 graph, which is the red line graph, is below the black color graph at this region. Agree or not? For this region and this region, it's above the black color. So we don't want. So we only want to find this. So these two intersect point is very, very important. So how to find the intersect point? We solve the modulus. We split into two parts. The first part is we copy all the symbol. The second part is we swap one part symbol. So here 3x plus 2, we change it to negative 3x, negative 2. First intersection point is 6. Second intersection point is 207. So we know the front is 207. Here is 6. So it's in between them. We follow the equal sign. So x is in between these two values. Then we score 4 marks. Question 2, trigonometry. They give you a trigo graph and ask you what is A, B, C. Whenever you see trigo question, the first thing you need to find where is the middle line. We know the maximum point is 3, minimum point is minus 7. So we sum them. Minus 2 is the middle line. So after we get where is the middle line, so we know that my whole graph moved down to this minus 2. So C is minus 2. A is the amplitude. So we know that from maximum to the middle line is 5. So A is 5. To find the B, we need to know period of one complete cycle. And for sine and cos, it's always equal to 360. So we need to know one complete cycle is how many degrees. We don't know one complete cycle, but we know 1.5 complete cycle is 180 degrees. So one complete cycle is how much? 120 degrees. We fit in here. B is 3. So 3 marks. Third question, the new syllabus circle geometry coordinate. So they say point A have this coordinate, B have this coordinate. AB form diameter. This information is quite straightforward because to find the equation of the circle, we need coordinate of the center and also radius square. To find the coordinate of the center is just the midpoint of the diameter. So we gather the info of A and B, then we find what is the radius, square root of difference of x squared plus difference of y squared. R squared is 74. After gather this information, the equation is done. 4 marks. Question 4 about factors of polynomial. They say 2x plus 1 is the factor of px. So when x equals to negative 1 over 2, the equation equals to 0. So we sub x equals to negative 1 over 2 to the equation. A over 2 minus A over 2, no more. So A equals to 4 because the question says A is a positive integer. So we only accept positive 4, do not accept negative 4. Part 2, hence factorize px. So we already know that 2x plus 1 is one of the factor. Then we can use long division subs in a equals to 4 into the equation first. This divided by 2x plus 1. What times 2x becomes 16x power 3? We times 8x squared become 16x power 3. And then this 8x squared also need to times plus 1 to become plus 8x squared. Up minus down, no more. So this thing can directly drag down. 2 times 2x becomes 4x. And then 2 times plus 1 becomes plus 2. So we can confirm px is this. After this, they ask us to show that this thing have only one real root. So we know from here, x equals to negative 1 over 2. And then for this part, we need to prove that it don't have any real roots. Then how? We just use b squared minus 4ac. Under quadratic chapter, we know a is 8, b is 0, c is 2. Negative 64 is less than 0, so no real root here. Question 5, combination of quadratic function and function. First part, completing the square. By using my method is, we don't care about the 2 first. We do big bracket square minus small bracket square and copy plus 3. Next, this part, we remove one x and extract the balancing out. X squared, I write x, minus 2x, I write minus 2. Then, the second thing, we divided by 2. And then this whole thing, we copy here. After we complete this part, we only write the front number in 4 position, which is up, down, or out, in, out, in. Then we solve it. Done. Then they says x must be less than p. So write the greatest value of p which f have an inverse. The U-shaped graph, we need to remove either left-hand side or right-hand side, then only we can have inverse. If not, it's not one-to-one function. This question, they want the left-hand side part. So we need to know what is the turning point. From here, we know the turning point is half 5 over 2. The x must less than 1 over 2. So the greatest number of p is 1 over 2. Then using the value of p right on the range, we know range is up, down. The minimum I can go is 5 over 2. So f more than or equals to 5 over 2. Part D, using the value of p, why this p is important? Because they want x less than or equals to 1 over 2 means they want the left-hand side. So we need to base on this to count. So they asked us to find the inverse function. So we use the completeness square to assist us. Here is very important because when square to the left-hand side, it becomes plus minus square root. But plus minus square roots cannot have inverse. We need to either choose left-hand side or right-hand side. This question, we want to choose the left-hand side. We can only accept the negative square root. So here, make sure you only write your answers as negative square root. Then we continue. So this is the final answer, all 3 marks you gain. Question number 6 is trigonometry. They give us tangent, ask us to find cos and sine value. So this one we refer back to the ASCC graph. So we know here is 0 because we turn from here 90, 180, 270 and go back to 360. This question says our answers is from 180 to 360. It means that it's on these 2 regions only. So we check tangent is a positive value. So tangent is positive only here. This part is cos is positive, so tangent cannot be positive. So we can confirm the angle is here. This is a right angle. We know that tangent equals to opposite over adjacent. Here is the angle. So here is opposite, here is adjacent. Opposite of 90 degrees is hypotenuse. So the info we have is opposite is square root 5. The adjacent is 5. So if we know these 2 lengths, then we will know what is the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is this square plus this square, square root of 30. So we know the length of this is square root of 30. So we can see what is cos. According to SOHCAHTOA, cos equals to adjacent, which is 5, over hypotenuse is square root of 30. And remember, in this quadrant, only tangent is positive, so cos is confirmed a negative value. Next, sine. Sine is so sine theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. And then also sign in this region is negative. If you're familiar with surd, since up down also have surd, you can combine them and then you can simplify it to 106. After we have these three information, they say find the value of secant theta plus cotangent. So we know secant is 1 over cos, cotangent is 1 over tangent. So 1 over cos is this, 1 over tangent is this. We rearrange, it will become like this. Then how you join them so both of them have denominator of square root 5. We up down also times square root 5. Then here will be square root 150 over negative 5 square root 5. This negative I think I show up. Square root of 150. Can you write in another way? We use LCM HCF method. We found that it is 5 squared times 2 times 3. 5 squared and square root can cancel off each other and become 5 only. And then we leave 2 times 3 is 6. So this part you can change it to this. 5 and 5 can simplify. Since both have the same denominator, so you can rearrange them into this. So we know A is 5, B is negative 1, C is 6. Question 7 is integration, area under graph. So they say the diagram shows part of this graph and part of this graph intersecting at A. So find the coordinate of A. So intersection point means do simultaneous equation. So we sub equation 1 into equation 2. So x is 3 over 2 or x is negative 2, but we reject the negative 2. After we find the x, we need to find the y. So coordinate of A is 3 over 2, 4 marks. Next, they ask us to find the exact area of this shaded region. We know this is 3 over 2, 0 to 3 over 2, minus the trapezium. This is 3 over 2. The height of this, we need to refer to this point. C is 1, so we know the height here is 1. And then the height here, 4. So here we can use a trapezium area to find. Here we use integration. At first, we find everything below this. We integrate from 0 to 3 over 2 of this equation. Since definite integration, we do not need to use plus c. Subs in 3 over 2 first. Here, ln 1 is 0. 2 times 0 also 0. So this is area of this part. Then we just use this area minus the trapezium. Area of trapezium is average of these two lengths times the perpendicular distance, 15 over 4. So we just use this minus this. This is the exact value for the area. Question is series or progression. So they say the first term of geometric progression is 10. The positive ratio r. The first term of arithmetic progression is also 10. Then there have a negative common difference of d. The second term of geometric progression is the same as the fourth term of arithmetic progression. Formula is, so we subs in the info. Second term, a is given 10, equals to the fourth term of the arithmetic progression. So a is this, 4 minus 1, d. 10r equals to 10 plus 3d. r equals to 10 plus 3d over 10. We found that there are two unknown confirmed. We need to form one more equation and solve simultaneous. So the second information comes from here. The third term of geometric progression, a r n minus 1, is the same as the sixth term of arithmetic progression, a plus n minus 1 d. So we subs equation 1 into equation 2. Then we throw the 10 to the right-hand side. This 50d throw here become minus, so we will have 10d. 100 minus 100 no more. Then we can factorize out the d. Then we can start to solve. Difference cannot be 0. If not, it won't form a series. So we reject this. So we know this. They're telling you the negative common difference. So negative 10 over 9 is perfect. We can find our r by using this equation. So R is divided by 10. So it's 2 over 3. Done for first part. Part 2, they ask you determine whether the geometric progression have sum to infinity. According to the formula sheet, this thing must be less than 1. As long as my R is in between -1 to 1, then it fulfilled. So since my R is 2 over 3, then I say it fulfilled. R in between -1 to 1, so it has sum to infinity. Done. Question 9 is log. So this question have different base. We must change them to the same base. We will always use the easier base. So we change everything to log base 2. This part already log base 2. Then here, when change base, we put up, down also have the same log base 2. The larger number put up, the smaller number put down. So to remove the denominator, the whole equation I times log base 2 x plus 1. This part times this part will become this whole thing square. And then this part up, down, cut, will left 4. So log base 2 is just 1. 3 times this will become 3 log base 2 x plus 1. So obviously this question is a quadratic. If you will read these equations looks very scary, then you can let the very complicated things become, let's say, A. Then you solve it. Remember, after we let, at last we need to replace back my A is log base 2 x plus 1. So this thing is 4. Base, I need to remove. I throw here, and then the thing here, we go up. So the first answer, x equals to 15. Then the next, power throw here. Here, move up. -1 over 2. So if we substitute back here, -1 over 2 plus 1 is a positive value. So this value also accepted. So we have two final answers, 15 and -1 over 2. Question 10 give you an equation, and then they talk about the normal of the curve. So this is actually a differentiation concept. What should we do when we see equation of normal? We must have the information of x, y, and gradient. X is 5. Y, you just substitute into your y equation. Y is 9. Then we need to find the gradient. Normal, we must apply the formula of m1 times m2 equals to -1. So we go and find m1 first. m1 is just the dy dx. Power throw front, baby copy, power -1. And then we differentiate this will be 5. In the application question, we always substitute in the value of x. 37 is 3 cubed. Will be 10 over 9 is the m1. Remember, m2 is -9 over 10. Then we can form the equation of the normal. This question do not specify you write in any form, so we can use the MS formula. Y minus y that we have equals to m x minus x that they given. So this is the equation of the normal. Then they says the equation of this curve intersect the line at point Q. Intersection point means simultaneous equation. I change these two. X equals to 11 minus y. So this is my equation 1, this equation 2, subs 1 to 2. The whole equation I times 10. Here left -9, 10 cancel off each other. So it will become 54 plus 9y. So this row here will become y. This row here is 36. So after we know what is my y, I can get my x, -25. So I know my q is -25, 36. Then the very last information, they say R is the reflection of Q in the tangent of the curve. We try to illustrate it. Even though we don't know how to draw this curve, you can just simply draw, let's say you draw some shape like this. Then they say x is 5. So the tangent at this point of P is like this. The normal of it is like this. This normal intersect with x plus y equals to 11. Let's say it's like this. So this is Q, which is -25, 36. And then my point P is x is 5, y is 9. We know from very beginning. Then they says R is the reflection of Q on P. If reflection means that it will be here. This is the mirror. So here and here will have the same distance. We can use the midpoint formula. R, we replace it with xy equals to the midpoint, which is 5, 9. Then we can solve. R is 35, negative 80. So this question a bit long, and usually I will use the illustration to understand the information more because there are many informations here. Question 11 is a vector question. They says OA is A, OB is B, and the direction is going there. ON equals to 3 and 8. So I always write it in this way. 3 initially is 3 over 1. So we know that ON is 3 and A is 1. So we know ON is 3 over 4A and A is 1 over 4A. And then they give us these two info. First question asks us to find OX in terms of AB and lambda. So lambda is given here, so we must use the information from here. For part A, to find OX, it must be O something plus something X. And we must use this info, BX. So here confirm is a B. OB is B. BX is lambda BN. BN we start from here. We need to go to N. So it's BO plus ON. Negative B plus 3 over 4A. Then part B, they say ask us to find OX in the terms of micro. So micro is this info. So we know it's O something plus something X, but must passes through M. OM is, this is the midpoint, so it's half B. MX is micro MA, negative B over 2 plus A. This is my OX. Then part 3, they ask us to find the value of lambda and micro. So we can use coefficient of A compared with coefficient of B. Because from part 1, we have OX, part B also have OX. OX should equals to OX, so we just compare the coefficient. The OX here, the only part that have A is here. So this coefficient is 3 over 4 lambda. That's all. And then the coefficient of A is the micro. So this is my first equation. Then for B, we have here and here. Coefficient of B here is 1. Coefficient of B here is minus lambda. Then OX second equation, the coefficient of B is half. Here the coefficient of B is negative micro over 2. Then we substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Lambda is 4 over 5. Then we substitute back to equation 1, 3 over 5. Okay, last question is differentiation integration mixed question. The first question asks you to find the dy dx. So you just use u and v. du dx is 1. dv dx, e we copy whole thing. Then we differentiate by v will become 3. So dy dx is this time this plus this time this. Done. Then how about the second part? Hence, they ask you to integrate this. We know we differentiate this will become this. So we integrate this, we'll go back to this. So we copy the relationship, we integrate this, we'll go back to this. We check back. The question 1, x e 3x plus 2. So not this part, they want this part. So we need to slowly remove the things from the left-hand side. So I remove this part to the right first. Then at last, everything I divided by 3. So here I integrate first. It's initially divided by 3. And then I divide by 3 again. And then remember, this is integration. We put a plus c. So this is my final answer. Done. So this is the first paper in IGs that cannot use calculator. Hope you enjoy this and you learn something from here. If any part you are not familiar with how to do, you can refer back to the video that teach this specific part. I hope you excel in your exam. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.